This is Westbrook Wallen Grove Artist Profile. We're talking with Mary Beth Blegen, a teacher from Worthington, who is also a literary artist, I would say. Tell us what you do.
In addition to teaching history and writing and humanities, I write a column for the Daily Globe, and I've written a column since 1981. And what I'm doing here at the festival is talking about that whole business of writing a column, what column writing is, and just the whole thing that makes column writing a little bit different than some other kinds of writing.
Now, a lot of people, I think, when they think of writing, they get this creative idea. They want to write songs, they want to do plays, and yet to make a living, sometimes that isn't what they get to do.
No.
Column writing sounds like something that they should be able to do, maybe.
Sure. I told the kids this morning in my session, everybody has a story to tell. Everybody. And so I had them close their eyes for just a minute and remember the first house they lived in and go into that house and then remember what the stories from there. Every one of us has a story to tell, and I think what a good columnist does is to take all kinds of stories from all different areas, whether it's politics or family or whatever, and put them into a form. And then people like to read stories. They like to find out about people. They like to feel things, and I think that's what a good columnist does.
Now, this is something that you've been doing for a number of years. Why do you continue to do it? What is in it for you?
There are a couple things. One, everything else that I do, whether it's being a mother or a teacher, is done really for somebody else. You teach, you're trying so desperately to get kids involved. You're a mother, you're caring for them. Writing is the one thing I do that's just me. I write it. It's in the Globe. I'm responsible. They're my feelings or my ideas and my thoughts. Plus that, I just love to write.
Love to write.
Mm-hmm.
What about the financial side of it? If kids are listening to us right now and they're saying, well, that's all well and good, I like to write too, but I want to make a living. Do you have a sense of what does it take for somebody to make a living doing this?
I think making a living, writing, it would be very tough. I think you have to start out with something else. If you're going to work for a newspaper, again, you're not going to make much money. Number one would be the education and then working incredibly hard and understanding that it's not easy, but if you have an idea and if you have a passion for it, perhaps there might be a niche for you. My writing certainly doesn't even come close. I mean, I just get a little bit. I write more because I love to write than I do for the money that I get. So making money writing is tough.
Okay. Kids that want to pursue a career then have to look at a lot of different options. They might be technical writing, they might be column writing. There could be all kinds of
There are lots of areas that you can start out in writing, and I think I maintain that most people who are hiring people today are looking for people who can communicate both speaking and writing. So if kids learn how to write and know how to write, perhaps it will get them a job, not for personal writing and not for novel writing, but it will at least get them writing, and then they can go from there. I think good writing is immensely important, no matter what job you're in.
Critical skill, absolutely.
Absolute critical skill.
Right.
Yeah.
For you, when you write, how do you put things together? How do the ideas come, and what happens?
Well, I told them this morning, I'm always writing in my head. Even sitting around here today, I'm thinking and thinking about kids or thinking about the people I visit with. Sometimes I'm back in my past in Chamberlain, South Dakota. Sometimes I'm writing about something that's going on. I write about education. I write about anything that's going on that I have a reference with. And then I put it down, and frequently you discover that most or a lot of other people have the same ideas, and feelings. I do a lot of stuff that deals with feelings.
Do you get a lot of response?
A significant amount of response.
And how is that as a writer to get that feedback?
Well,
what is that like?
It's glorious.
Glorious.
Of course. Now you have to understand, I get those that are, I told the kids this morning, I said I get, once in a while I get a letter that's critical, and almost to the letter, they're never signed. This morning I got one, this summer I got one that was 2 or 3 pages long. I'd written a column on something, and they just hated it and thought I was, silly. And turned over the page, didn't sign it.
No guts.
No guts, see. But the others, I think the columns that touch people the most are those which deal with feelings. My mother's death, my divorce, all those things. You write about them and you discover that we have common feelings. There are a lot of us that feel the same things.
For young people, I notice in a lot of English classes when they write, some of it is very personal. And it is somewhat of a catharsis that they feel better when they get done doing it. And the better they do it,
I think the catharsis thing is part of it. I also think personal writing is a wonderful place to start. Because if we know anything, if kids know anything, they know their own stories. And obviously, they're invested in their own stories. And I think the best writing you're going to get from kids is when they've made an investment in it. Now, if they can start out with personal writing and discover and work on the skills, then they're able to move to a broader kind of area. Oh, personal writing is a wonderful place for kids to begin to tell stories and for them to begin to see that they can write and that they have something to say.
Any last words of advice for young people who are interested in doing a better job of writing, a better job of communicating?
I think number one is to write and to let someone read it. An editor told me once, Mary Beth, a lot of people say they write, but then they say, well, I won't let anyone read it. And that's not true. Someone has to read it. I told the kids this morning, I said, hey, as you're going around here today, look, observe, watch. Sit down, write something up and send it to me. Who knows, maybe I can work it into a column sometime. Write and take it to somebody and have them read it. Now that takes a certain amount of guts, but if you're going to be a writer, you've got to have guts.
All right. Mary Beth Blegen from Worthington. This is Westbrook Walnut Grove Artist Profile. Thank you.
Thank you.